Another recording session, guys. I just felt like I was inspired to basically just put out another video for you guys. Although I have been inconsistent with like YouTube videos, but you know, like I just recently like just checked my YouTube channel and like welcome to all those who subscribe. Uh, like I just felt like, I want to make another video. But at the same time, like I can't just be talking about nothing. So the thing of it is that I thought about exactly what exactly is it that I should be talking about. And I thought about what Ken Honda, his name is Ken Honda. Ken Honda is basically the writer of the book Happy Money. And I remember what he said about invisible investments. We usually have like when it comes to wealth building, we usually worry about things like how do we make our money grow and everything like that. And this is not financial advice or anything like that. I'm not going to give financial advice. I just felt like I should say that because the thing of it is that whenever finance YouTubers talk about investing or like investments or where to put your money or something, they always say, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving financial advice and all that stuff. But I'm not going to be telling you what to invest in or anything like that. But at the same time, like we focus more on these technicals where we should be putting our money in, but we don't focus on the things that I think Ken Honda also talks about, which is our invisible investments. He calls them invisible investments, but in reality, he's talking about like relationships, what we give to people. And this relates to basically what I was talking about a little bit the last video I made. Of course, I did went on a little bit of a rant, but you don't have to worry about the details about it. I mean, we are what we put out in the world, and I guess it's the same thing as like, we are what we eat. And I'm trying to train myself to eat like not as much junk, although I'm still struggling with that. So, that sort of thing. But it happens. It happens. But at the same time, I know all of you are probably just working on yourselves as well. You're probably working on yourselves on certain gifts that you basically have, and I believe all of you have more than one gift. The thing of it is that in today's society, we are not given the appreciation of the gifts that we have, especially like the small ones that we think are very insignificant, but in fact, they could lead to a much bigger um, realization within ourselves that basically is that gift that we can give to the world. And I'm still searching for the gifts that I can provide, not only you guys, but also like the people around me. Because I do believe what Ken Honda said was basically in order to receive, like, whether it be wealth or whether it be, people in your life, you have to be able to give, but also you have to be able to receive. In other words, like, if you want to get more money, how can you receive more money if you're not a good receiver? Because some people are afraid of like asking for money from other people, and it's not like for sneaky reasons or anything like that. It could be just like, look, I need $1 more to pay for the gas. Could you give me $1? It's like small stuff like that, and I think you know our invisible investments are basically the most important things we care about most of all, especially as human beings. We all want to be able to like meet someone we can not only get along and connect with, but also like whether it be platonic or romantic, like someone we can share our life with. Or like even if we like to be alone, we just want to be able to like connect with people platonically and basically say, "You're a good friend. You make the best brownies. You're a good friend because you let me talk about stuff that is very, very deep and close to my heart." But at the same time, I sometimes question, like, am I doing my part to be a good friend? Am I doing what I need to do to basically show that I care for you, like, and I appreciate you and everything like that. And the thing of it is that also like putting yourself out there is always also the hard part because you have to know where to put yourself in the best footing, but you also have to know how to be vulnerable. And being vulnerable is usually the toughest part because they're usually afraid of like what goes on in politics or what goes on within like social groups or what goes on within business. It's like you're my friend one day, but then you suddenly exchange my secrets for something for your own benefit or your own. ill-gotten gain. And you know, the thing of it is that it's like you can't avoid um sometimes the stumbles of life, if that makes any sense. There will be people you trust, and there will be people that can sometimes break that trust. And hopefully, it happens less often than more often. And the thing of it is that holding grudges doesn't help us either. And we also have to remember the mistakes that we've made over the years and have we forgiven ourselves for those said mistakes. And I do believe invisible investments do need to be paid attention to, such as if you have a family and that family really loves you and really appreciates you, then you practically are benefiting from your invisible investments. If you don't, I hope you have like friends that appreciate you and love you and care for you as much as you probably need for the struggles you're dealing with in life. And these struggles don't have to be like completely like downtrodden, like hard nosed struggles, like, you know, like you're basically trying to struggle to put food on the table or constantly like scouring about just to find um the right ingredients to make your life a perfect life, you know, like money as well as like a roof over your head. Hopefully you guys are not in those type of situations, but at the same time, if you are, hopefully you have like a lot of invisible investments that will really really help you. And I think invisible investments, people that are really have hit real, not rock bottom, but hit like basically a low point, a low threshold, invisible investments really really do help us in those times. Like if a person lost a job and they don't know what to do and they don't know how to expand themselves within uh, society, we rely on friends and family to basically say, "Hey, yo, I know this. There's this one place that is requesting a job, or the place that I work for, they're actually hiring people. Maybe you should apply there." And if it wasn't for like my mom, like basically telling me to like apply for the job that she worked at, I wouldn't have found my first full-time job. Although I was working at a credit card manufacturing vendor at the time, and that was the job that basically my mother like told me to apply for, and I applied, and I basically became a machine operator. Technically, it was like a factory type job, but at the same time, I was working full time, and I worked there for like 5 years. And you know, like working there wasn't a big hassle for me. It was just basically like we would just make credit cards all day, and that's basically what we did. I started out like basically working 12 hours. Well, originally I started working 8 hours, but then they built a new building, and basically that was a 12-hour shift. And then I switched over to 12-hour shift. Originally, I was supposed to do the night for 12 hours, but then luckily, like my mother, like basically talked to one of the bosses, and he basically said, "Okay, I'll put him on the day shift for 12 hours." So basically, I worked for 12 hours on the day shift, luckily, and further down the line, I eventually just basically just kept doing my thing. I just kept doing my thing, running the machines, and just basically we just shipped credit cards out. And then further down the line, the pandemic hit, and I was then moved to the 8 hour shift, like where my mother worked, because my mother worked in the 8 hour shift building. So then I moved there, and then I was able to get there permanently. And that was the year I basically decided that this was not for me. And I then ended up trying to plan out my career break. And now I'm on my second year. Originally, I was planning to do a 1 year career break, but then I was like, I have enough to go for a second one. So I was like, I went for a second one. And I never looked back on it. And even though after this year's done, I know I will have to find something, uh, whether it be like, you know, doing content creation or whether it be just finding something else. I find it very very interesting that sometimes opportunities just come, and I'm a type of person that doesn't plan a lot, and I don't like to like look down the future and just worry a lot because I've have a lot of people around me in my inner circle people that I care about, people that I love, they really are worriers. They love to worry so much. And even though they won't show it, they will worry a lot. Um, my mother was worried about me going on my career break. I was surprised that my father was not very against it. I think it's because he was about to retire that same year I was going to go on my career break, and he thought it better if I was in the house to basically, watch over him in case he falls, or in case like he needs somebody to like mend his stresses if he's like has to talk to somebody, whether it be like dealing with his like certain affairs like his finances, or whether it be like just like something involving like an order that he wanted but then it just didn't work out, like calling service people, that sort of thing. And you know obviously I planned to go on my career break. I obviously saved a lot, and luckily staying with my parents, like I'm grateful to my parents for allowing me to stay in their house even though I'm already like over the age of 30. And I don't I don't look down on that. I mean, I don't forget that. I don't forget the fact that my parents like put up with me and being in their home, and I do my best to like help them out as much as I can, even though there are times when I get a little bit of a headache from it. Of course, the thing of it is that I also have to work on myself as well, which is why I go to therapy. And I'm trying to learn a lot about myself day to day. And sometimes when I get bored, I just record videos for you guys. And I felt like I just wanted to record a video for you guys because you know what? I'm not doing anything. I might as well record a video for you guys, and hopefully it turns out fine. And sometimes I always find myself talking to myself, so I might as well talk to myself in front of the camera for you guys. And I know you guys are probably doing your own pursuits. You're probably working on yourselves. Some of you guys are probably working a job that you don't like, and but you need to do it in order to support yourselves and hopefully your families as well. And hopefully you're basically in a good state of mind where it's like, yeah, the work doesn't, even though I don't like the job, the work is fine, and I'm able to support myself and everything like that. And gratitude is always going to be a big part of living a better life. I'm very grateful to be able to like save enough money and to be able to have a roof over my head so that I can basically just like stay. I'm also grateful that my parents are still healthy and moving about, and I don't have to worry about like I'm living in a place where I have to constantly pay the bills, and suddenly I get a call, and then suddenly like I get the shock that like whether hopefully this doesn't happen, but like whether my parents get taken to the hospital or something like that, and then I have to drive through traffic with that stress in my head. I'm just glad to be home and actually like here to help whenever I need to. Uh, but at the same time, for you guys, I don't know what's going on in your lives, and whatever they are, and however tough the struggle is, I'm pretty sure you guys will pull through it. And it may be tough, but that's when the invisible investments come in. If you have really good friends and you've been kind to your friends, you've been loving to your friends, I'm pretty sure your friends will be willing to help you out, even just a little bit. And the thing of it is that for me, I really appreciate the people that are in my inner circle, and I've come to appreciate them so much that even if I give them money, I don't expect it back. And the thing of it is that there are times when my friends ask me for money, and it's like they would ask me questions like, "How much do I owe you again?" And I would forget because I just basically just like whether pay them for lunch or whether pay for like a movie or something, and I just don't remember how much like they would owe me. But at the same time, like I kind of follow the principle, like if I really really care about someone and I really trust them, uh like obviously I'm not going to give it willy-nilly, but at the same time it's like I have to know you first. I have to know you first, and I have basically we have to have a connection, and we have to basically like be able to understand each other, and I have to know exactly how you conduct yourself as a person before like so nobody asks me for money. I ain't gonna give it to you. Unless like because obviously like mathematics has proven that basically like it's good to be forgiving, and it's good to be able to turn the other cheek, but at the same time you can't be a pushover. uh there was like a video by Veritasium about competition, and I watched that video, and it was so impressive. I found that basically mathematics has proven, well, through a computer game, basically, with the dynamics of our world and everything like that, that we have to be kinder to people, but also we have to not be a pushover, and that's really hard to do. That's really hard to do because um, some of us don't even know what our personal values are. And my therapist even asked me about my personal values, and I had to think hard, long and hard about it. And I had to think about my five personal values in life. And I know I talk about a lot of nothing whenever I put these videos out, but at the same time, I feel like within the mess that I basically kind of like rant to you guys, I feel like you guys will find some sort of nugget in there that will kind of allow you to go to the epiphany of whatever it is that may be ailing you, or whatever it is that you may be like having a bit of a knock on wood type of thing going in your head. Like there might be something in your head that basically is like, I'm struggling with this one problem, but I don't know what it is. And it doesn't have to be like emotional or mental or anything like that, or like anything involving like a struggle or anything. It could be just a simple like a simple problem that you're just like wondering, how is it, how can I solve this thing? And I think that's enough, like, and that's why I put these out. And I I don't I don't like editing as much, but I usually just like to click the record button and then whammo, I just like to start talking. And hopefully you find this helpful. And you know, I just hope that the invisible investments that you have are helping you out and making you the best person that you can be, and the person that you can be, despite all the negativity that society is throwing at you. And if you feel like you're in a negative mood, it's okay to like let out a cry once in a while. Let out a cry, write it out in a journal entry, whatever it is that helps you get through it. Listen to music. Listen to music and let the tears like drip down your eyes. And I think that's the thing that really helps people get through certain negative emotions. Because if we don't feel those negative emotions, we're not really living life as much. And I'm not one for basically say, like, I say positive vibes to everybody because sometimes that's enough for allow them to be like, you know what? Like, I feel bad right now, but I'm a little bit lighter when I hear someone say that. But some people are just like sad, and that's okay. That's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel anxious. It's okay to feel a little bit on edge. And as long as your anger is healthy anger and it's not connected with some sort of rage or some sort of like internal trauma that you feel like you have to constantly bombard other people that have wronged you in the past. Like, like we know like how people like lose it, like they rage out because like there's this internal like emotion that's connected to some sort of trauma or some sort of past experience that has created this very festering rage. And hopefully it's not fueled by that. Anger is a healthy emotion, but as long as it's within the present, that's when it's healthy. And as long as it's not harming the people around the said person, a single shout is usually the most healthiest, I think. Like, if someone's getting into your space, obviously you have to shout out and let the anger out because the person's getting in your space. Like, yo, bro, chill. That sort of thing. And that's okay. There are times when people frustrate us and we hold on to that frustration, and then we go to our friends and we complain about that, and we see the frustration within us, but also we are in control of our reactions. For me, I don't get angry easily. I just get sad very easily. And I usually just talk about my emotions. I'll like whenever I feel like I'm in a constant strife. It doesn't If it doesn't bother me as much, but I still feel a little negative emotion, I just let myself feel it. But if it becomes like overbearing for myself, I basically just put it out there. Like I basically put it out there and I tell my friends about it, and then they will just like do their best to talk to me. And I think also like the people that we talk to about our problems also matters because uh, some people like to talk to you when you talk to people and you basically want to let out your feelings. They either are a good listener or they're just a coach. I usually look for the people that are in my friend group that are mostly good listeners, but are not coaches. And the reason why I don't talk to my friends that are more coaches or like they talk like coaches is because they're going to tell me how to fix the problem when in fact I just wanted to tell them how I feel. I didn't want to basically have like someone to tell me that I have to fix this or I have to fix that in order to solve a problem. Usually for me, I can find solutions, but it's usually when I need to actually let out those negative emotions first. And there's like a couple of my friends in my friend group that basically are very good at that. They're very good at just listening to me and they just tell me like that sounds like really crappy situation and I'm like, yeah, it is. And sometimes they will basically tell me it's okay to feel how I feel. And I think mainly like with men, like men in general, we have this problem where if we talk about our problems, the person that we're talking to, we expect them to come up with a solution to tell us how to solve it. And for me, I just don't really need that whenever I talk to people about my emotions. I usually just kind of like look for like an answer that doesn't really have like a clear cut solution. It's more like I'm looking for something that allows me to have the freedom to choose how to make the solution my own. And I think that's basically what I usually look for whenever I go for like, comfort, whenever I struggle with something. But sometimes people, I'm pretty sure some of you guys probably look for someone who's more of a coach. Like, like it's like, don't be too down on yourself. You got this. Like, you basically done this action, you've done that action, and those actions and give you the validation to say that you're worthy of, X, Y, Z, X, Y, and Z, that sort of thing. um, but yeah, and I think basically that's why the invisible investments are very, very necessary because it could be your family, it could be your friends, or it could be like just maybe just someone that you met and that person basically you never thought you would make a connection with them, but you did. You probably just started talking to them like probably about bubble tea at the bubble tea place or something, and you basically start a conversation and you guys develop a connection even though you only met once. So, I guess the point of this video is that know where your invisible investments are because usually those invisible investments um, they can probably help you ascend to greater wealth than you know. And I try to tell myself that every day. And I feel like it's a more spiritual connection that I will never forget. And that spiritual connection, I feel it's kind of necessary to be at a proper balance. Of course, you have to have your responsibilities. Like of course, if I'm not making money by the end of this year, I will have to find a job and basically get money to support myself. But at the same time, if I do succeed in like, whether endeavors I put before me, like being a full-time Twitch streamer or maybe the YouTube channel pops off one day. Who knows? I'm not gonna hold my breath on it, but at the same time, like whenever I see you guys like watch my videos, like I try not to look at the numbers too much, but at the same time, sometimes I can't help it. And when I see like you guys watching the videos, I feel as if, wow, like, like you guys care about what I have to say. And whatever the result may be in the future, I try not to worry about it as much. And this is why I don't plan that much. Financial goals, I try not to set them up because you can't really plan out like you're going to win the lottery. You can't plan out that you find the person that will lead you to your next job. You can't plan out all these things. At the same time, I put myself out there for you guys on YouTube and Twitch because I just have fun doing it, and it would be nice to be able to do it like full time, to be a full, content creator, so I can just pop on whether it be Twitch or just YouTube and just basically just give you guys my take on things because I do believe you guys are like, you guys are just owning up what you're doing. And whatever the results like society may throw at you, whether they be negative or positive, I just want to let you guys know that I will be cheering you guys on because as long as you're not infringing on everybody else around you or like making their lives miserable, um, and as long as you're taking care of yourselves, I think that's the thing that anybody would hope for, whether it be a stranger or whether it be someone who's like close to you, like family, or whether it be just a good friend. And so, yeah, I always want to say to you guys that you're always precious and you deserve to be treated with respect as long as you cherish yourselves. And I try to cherish myself like every day. Um, like I always try to exercise. I always try to like think about how can I be more productive with myself. And sometimes and I do admit I do have an internet addiction as well as a bit of a food addiction. But at the same time, if I have an internet addiction, I might as well just put myself more on the internet. And there are times when I worry about trolls and everything like that. So, but you know, the internet is filled with a lot of negativity, but at the same time, it can also be filled with such good people. And I've met a lot of awesome people doing content creation, and I never regretted ever starting my YouTube channel or starting my Twitch channel for that matter. And I know I don't edit my videos, at least I didn't edit the last one, and I'm probably not going to edit this one, but I hope what I said is something that you guys can use. And whenever I stream on Twitch, I always love reading what you guys type in the chat. And I want to know the stories that you guys have. And I'm pretty sure the stories are a lot more exciting than you think it is. You don't have to be traveling the world and doing these fantastic things. You could just basically just be an average person and then you can have like this one story that makes people laugh. And I like to join in the people that laughed at your stories. And I'm pretty sure hopefully that you laughed at those stories yourself. And I think the best thing we could do is just laugh at ourselves for whether we were just like negligible because we were young or whether we were just in a very, very funny situation at the wrong time and we just can't help but think of it as a funny story. But yeah, but you can't have those without those invisible investments, like your family, your friends, or people that just care about you, or just a community that cares about you. And hopefully, you guys have those invisible investments. And if you don't, I wish you luck in finding them all. And always remember that everyone is precious, and you're just as precious as everyone else. And I'm pretty sure that everyone would like you in their portfolio. So take care, guys. Bye bye.